You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what he actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Friday, happy Venus Day, happy Labor Day weekend, and most importantly, happy birthday to our dear friend Rachel, who joins us live every morning. Hoping you have the best 30th birthday. Who do you share your birthday with? Do you ask? Well, let me tell you. Our notable birthdays for September 1st. Keanu Reeves is a Virgo. We love Keanu. Yes, we will claim him. Also, Selma Hayek, great Virgo energy. September 1st, or September 2nd, I should say. Let's see. Mark Harmon is a Virgo. Cat Williams. Some interest. Zed. Terry Bradshaw. Lots of notable Virgos on September 2nd. And just for fun, let's see. This weekend, who else will be? Charlie Sheen is a Virgo. My mind is blown. My mind is blown. I need to see his full chart. What else is happening here? What else is happening? Kaya Jordan Gerber, recognize her face. Don't really know what she's from. Let's be honest. Sadhguru, who is a very well-known guru. He has amazing videos. Makes sense. He's a Virgo. Dave Ramsey is a Virgo. Shaun White is a Virgo. And on Sunday, who else will be celebrating their solar return? The Queen herself, Beyonce. Rachel, and anybody who's celebrating a birthday this weekend, highly recommend listening to B-Day Get Me Bodied by Beyonce. At the very beginning, she's like 9, 4, 8, 1, B-Day. We can never forget Beyonce's birthday now, and she'll be celebrating on Sunday. Whitney Cummings is a Virgo. Damon Wayans. Let's see. Anyone else that we need to note? Nobody. Oh, Mark Ronson. Interesting. Kyle Mooney from SNL. Nobody quite as important as Beyonce and Rachel, though. Let's be honest. Those are our highlight birthdays of the weekend. So full disclosure, I am not live this morning, but if you're finding this video live, still feel free to throw your comments. Let me know how the energy is feeling for you in the chat. I'll go back through and read everything and respond to you guys. But I am out of town. I'm in Las Vegas. So I pre-recorded this video to give you your weekend guidance. It will be an abbreviated version of our normal weekend forecasts. So I'm going to spend about 5 minutes on each day, go through the transits very quickly. Just want to make sure you have a taste of the energy you are working with this weekend. So without further ado, let's get right into it. As this is airing live, the sun is in Virgo and the moon is in Scorpio. The moon will move into Sagittarius this Friday night, really setting the stage for a fun, adventurous, spontaneous, and abundant weekend. Bring on the abundance. I'm in Las Vegas, friends. So we're coming into the first quarter moon today. This Friday marks the first quarter moon. And in general, there's an energy of taking action. Yesterday, we talked about Mars forming a sextile to Jupiter, really giving us that fire under us to get up and go, to take the next step confidently and be optimistic about the outcome. And that first quarter moon energy that's building today is really going to light that fire under us and help us take the next step, put our intentions into action. So that's kind of the energy we're working with today. But we do have a major transit playing out to talk about. Mercury is opposing Jupiter this Friday. And before I get into all of this, I'll go ahead and add markers to the timeline for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the major transits. So if you are finding this video over the weekend, you can jump to whichever day that you're seeking guidance for. But let's start with Friday. Mercury opposing Jupiter. Here's a look at our chart for Friday. You can see Mercury at 6 degrees in Libra, Jupiter at 6 degrees in Aries, forming this dark red line, this opposition to one another. Now, Jupiter is the great benefic. So anytime we're talking about Jupiter, there's optimism, there's abundance, there's good vibes. And when Mercury opposes Jupiter, that has an effect on our mental state because Mercury rules our mindset. Mercury in Libra, we talked a little bit about this last week when Mercury moved into Libra. But Mercury in Libra tends to have us looking at a lot of different perspectives or kind of bouncing ideas off of other people, weighing our thoughts against other people's thoughts, as the scales would suggest. Jupiter can kind of tip those scales anytime we have an opposition to Jupiter. There's a tendency to overthink or overanalyze. So that is a possibility. However, I see there being a lot of abundance and positivity that comes along with these Jupiter transits this weekend because Mars and Jupiter are still supporting each other, really giving us that confidence. And when Mercury opposes Jupiter, it's like we can see the big picture clearly, and we're more focused on the big picture rather than the small details. So this is a great day to brainstorm, to think big, to book the trip, to enroll in the course, to kind of make those big moves without worrying about the nitty gritty. Our mental state can definitely benefit from Jupiter's positivity, but we do still want to be mindful of the fine print. Remember, Mercury's in its shadow period, so communication glitches are possible. It's easy to overlook things. So as much as we're thinking about the big picture and really excited about the big picture, it's a good idea to double check the fine print before you move forward or make any decisions. It can really be easy to get carried away with a grand idea. So like I said, it's a great day for brainstorming and writing those ideas down and sharing them with friends, collaborating with people, but maybe waiting to solidify plans until Mercury pulls away from this opposition. Or maybe it's that you brainstorm everything and after Mercury retrograde or when Mercury's in a little bit more of a favorable position next week, you start to take action. Although you're going to want to take action today. It's the first quarter moon. So I don't blame you if you have this big idea and just want to run with it. Oh, of course, trust your intuition over all else, but overthinking is possible too, like I said. So you might have this big idea and kind of get carried away, fall down the rabbit hole with it and start thinking about all the possible outcomes of the idea. You know, it can just, our mental state is really activated when Mercury opposes Jupiter. So collaborate with Mercury and Libra, maybe bounce these ideas off someone else that can help you remember the fine print, find some clarity, not get too carried away when you have someone else's perspective. But hopefully you're having beautiful, positive thoughts under this opposition between Mercury and Jupiter. Let's talk about the Scorpio moon making its final connections today. And there's been an intensity with the moon in Scorpio, as there always is every month under a Scorpio moon. There's been a lot of tension playing out. That will continue a little bit today, but not quite as harshly or uncomfortably as maybe the moon's energy made us yesterday. So 6 a.m. on Friday, we wake up under a harmonious connection, a trine between the moon and Neptune in water signs. Pay special attention to the dreams you're waking up from on Friday morning. They might be especially vivid. And the Scorpio moon taps us into our subconscious as well as Neptune and Pisces. So whatever vivid imagery or messages are coming through your dreams have deep meaning, and really pay attention to those. With Mercury opposing Jupiter, you might really find yourself wanting to go deep into the meaning of something or understand the bigger picture thanks to those little tidbits, those little breadcrumbs your subconscious brought forth through your dreams. We're less focused on practical matters when the moon harmonizes with Neptune first thing today. This is really creative, imaginative energy, very woo-woo and witchy and mystical, which is why you might get carried away on a little dream meaning exploration. And the moon and Neptune connecting in this fortunate way also activates our sensitivities, makes us hypersensitive, and not just physically, but psychically. So pay attention to any messages that are coming through early Friday morning, whether it's, a butterfly or a sign from your spirit guides or an angel number or something like that. Just really be open to the magic that this brings, maybe through your dreams or maybe in your waking life. And it's nice. Neptune can kind of soften the energy of the intense Scorpio moon, giving us more compassion and empathy. The final connection the Scorpio moon makes this cycle is a square to Venus and sextile to Pluto at the same time at about 9 a.m. So as our day is getting going, Pacific time here on Friday, we have the moon, you can see it here, forming a sextile to Pluto and a square to Venus. When the moon squares Venus, we're needy, we want affection, we want pleasure, especially a Scorpio moon and Venus and Leo. There's a sexual energy to this, and Pluto being in there adds some sexual nature too. So, 9 a.m. or if you're on the East Coast, maybe a little afternoon delight is in the cards for you. I'm not sure, but the moon squaring Venus makes us kind of compulsive. Like we really need to feel good right now. And I see this as being like a very physical sensation that could come over us with Venus and Leo, with the moon in Scorpio and Pluto in Capricorn. It feels like this is really manifesting in the physical realm. So maybe it's that you're craving love from a partner or from a friend, or just kind of feeling needy in relationships, or maybe you're just like craving a great breakfast, a donut, something to just make you feel good in this moment. But I will say sexual energy is high Friday morning. Just avoid under the Scorpio moon trying to manipulate others to get it, trying to force people to give you what you need. Remember to be receptive to it, ask for what you want, but don't have these expectations, hello Virgo season, and then create resentment for people not giving you exactly what you need. Lean into your power, ask for what you want, take control, take the lead. Yeah. Moon squaring Venus, though, just watch for that tendency. Like, I just want to feel good right now. And Pluto brings an element of compulsion into it too. And maybe even a little bit of obsession this morning. So it's an interesting, a fine line to walk between pleasure and overindulgence, right? Or neediness. The moon is void from about 11 this morning until 3:40 this afternoon when it moves into Sagittarius. And I see this as full permission to take it easy this afternoon, finish up your to-do list, maybe call it a day a little early on a Friday, begin your holiday weekend a little sooner than you might have thought. Just to kind of take a chill pill before the moon moves into Sagittarius at 3:40 Pacific time this afternoon, because once the moon moves into a Sagittarius, the party is starting. Sagittarius is that party vibe. We want to be around other people. We're generous. We're optimistic, all the things. We want freedom. We crave expansion, and it's great weekend energy. We're more optimistic naturally with the moon in Sagittarius, more generous. I think I already said that, but it's worth saying again. We're just abundant in a lot of ways with the moon in Sagittarius. And you might find yourself being a little more adventurous or spontaneous this weekend as well, because Sagittarius energy doesn't want to be tied down. It wants to go wherever the wind takes it and expand and explore and have new experiences. So get ready for a fun weekend under the Sagittarius moon. All right, let's move on to our Saturday forecast. 2 transits to talk about. Well, technically 1 transit and 1 little tidbit to make you aware of. So we talked about this on Thursday. Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter are all playing this kind of dance with each other. So these are the 3 energies we've really been feeling from Thursday to Saturday. Mercury in Libra, bouncing ideas off other people, weighing our perspectives with others. Mars in Gemini, it's like, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. We love variety. Court, our good friend here on the stream, likened Mars in Gemini. She has Mars in Gemini to an amusement park. So we'll be amused by variety this weekend, and we'll feel like doing a lot of different things with Mars and Gemini. And then Jupiter in Aries is like, that let's go energy, like let's get it. It's just amplifying everything, Jupiter in Aries. So this is the final transit we're talking about in this series between the 3 planets connecting Mercury, Trine, Mars. And what's really interesting about this, let me show you on the chart here, is that Mercury and Mars never actually form this exact trine. Because Mercury's in its shadow period and slowing down, as we'll talk about in just a moment, Mars enters its shadow period today. They're kind of playing this dance in a trine with each other. So it never becomes exact, but they get within a degree of each other today. Mercury over here at 7 degrees in Libra, Mars at 7 degrees in Gemini, both in air signs. So there's definitely an intellectual nature about this transit. And you can see the trine there in dark blue, but it's really interesting. It never is exact. It gets so close, and then Mercury moves just a little faster and pulls away from the trine. So we're definitely going to feel this energy still, even though it's not exact. Transits don't have to be exact for us to feel them. We feel them within about a 5-degree orb. What does it mean, though? That's what you want to know, right? That's why you're here. Mercury, Trine, Mars. Bold expression, lots of mental energy, just really keeping up the mental energy and the physical energy, too, that we've been feeling. There's a lot of busyness playing out on Saturday. Mercury likes to be busy, likes to fill up the schedule, especially when it comes to seeing other people, relating to other people with Mercury and Libra. Mars and Gemini keeps us busy as well, right? It's a very mercurial energy that we're working with right now. And this transit in particular helps us confidently share what's on our mind, express ourselves. This is a great transit for speaking up, public speaking in some way, maybe. Just really a focus on relating to others and sharing our perspectives. So it's a great day to be around other people, to have great conversations with other people. And we could experience an influx of ideas or motivation that comes through during those conversations, or even just in your own head with yourself. You might be having a lot of ideas come through, as we talked about with the Friday forecast. They could still be pouring through today. And maybe those ideas that you had when Mercury opposed Jupiter start to materialize into, oh, this is how I could act on those now that Mercury is forming this connection with Mars. So, we're definitely inclined to share ideas and get other people's feedback, but also remember to be like confident in what you think too. Mercury in Libra can make us really indecisive. Do I think this or this? Is this best or is this best? So remember, it's great to have other people's perspective and take that in, but also don't get paralyzed by indecision, right? Our mindset is just going to benefit from positive energy in general, though, and collaboration is going to feel really natural and really beautiful. So maybe taking those brainstormed ideas from the opposition between Mercury and Jupiter and sharing some of them with other people and seeing how they land and just getting a little bit of feedback and seeing how that feedback feels for you too. But yeah, I see this as a great weekend to have conversations with people, to be around other people, and you might have some really powerful ideas come through just by being in relationship with others. Now, here's the other thing I want to point out about Saturday. Mars enters its shadow period on Saturday, and it's a long shadow period for Mars because Mars doesn't go retrograde until October 30th. So we have almost 2 full months of Mars in its shadow period. And remember, Mercury is in its shadow period too. Now, Mars in its shadow period, anytime we're talking about a shadow period, essentially what we're saying is that once Mars goes retrograde, it will come all the way back to this point that it's at today, to 8 degrees. So the shadow period is the distance that Mars is going to travel back during its retrograde. So whatever's playing out during the shadow period will be revisited. You can literally picture like Mars going from 8 degrees to 25 degrees in Gemini, then stationing retrograde, coming all the way back that same distance to 8 degrees. And we're revisiting, reviewing everything that's happened while Mars has been in its shadow period. So you might be running into some roadblocks, or, Mars in its shadow period can bring up some aggression or some conflict in some ways. Whatever is coming up over the next 2 months will likely be reviewed during Mars retrograde from October 30th until, I believe, sometime in January. So just something to keep in mind. It's not like, boom, Mars is in its shadow period. Pay attention today, but just something to start keeping in mind. Like if little irritations, aggressions arise, know that you might be revisiting those things and just keep them at the forefront. What are we learning the first time? So when we review it the second time, we're just solidifying that lesson rather than having to relearn it all over again. Yeah, pay attention to any little arguments or irritations. And again, I want to say this one more time. Mercury is also in its shadow period. So communication breakdowns could start to happen. This isn't like catastrophizing. You're aware of it. You know it's happening. You can easily pull the lessons, see what's going on without getting fully into it because you're here and you're aware. Okay, so we have the first quarter moon in Sagittarius playing out as well on Saturday, and this is just helping us move forward, take action with optimism, with abundance underneath us, with confidence. There's this element of faith with the moon in Sagittarius. Like whatever we do now is just going to work out. The universe has our back. That is that Sagittarius energy. And taking action that feels exciting and spontaneous in the moment can actually lead us to higher understanding under the Sagittarius moon. So if you feel kind of this like urge, follow it. Be safe, of course, but follow it and see where it leads you. Personal growth is possible under the Sagittarius moon, especially if we're willing to go on a little adventure and take action and maybe push ourselves outside of our comfort zone just a little bit. The Sagittarius moon makes 2 connections on Saturday. First, at 4 a.m., so overnight for most of us, or maybe you're still up late on a Friday night, right? We got a lot of energy we're working with this weekend. The moon opposes Mars and forms a sextile to Mercury. So playing into that connection between Mars and Mercury today, the moon will connect with both of them at 4 a.m. This is a little bit after, but you can see the moon opposing Mars here and forming a sextile to Mercury. When the moon opposes Mars, we're more impulsive, we are more reactive, we're quick to take action. And so it's definitely playing into the spontaneous energy of the Sagittarius moon. A sextile to Mercury here, though, does kind of help us think through what we're doing and have that logical, practical awareness. And also brings a little bit of moderation into the picture with Mercury and Libra. So we will take it. Thank you, Mercury. So you know, you might be waking up on Saturday morning or even staying up really late Friday night being like, we are ready to go. It's just like this fiery energy with the moon in Sagittarius opposing Mars in Gemini. It's like Mars in Gemini is that airy energy that's fanning the flames of the Sagittarius moon. And yeah, they're just playing into each other, but we don't want to burn too hot. Sagittarius energy has a tendency to go overboard, to overdo it. So you might feel the need to like go hard Friday night and then feel that when you wake up on Saturday morning, and it might not be the greatest feeling. It could feel like an energetic or a physical hangover. So we don't want to get too carried away. It's really easy to get burnt out when the moon opposes Mars, but the sextile to Mercury does help us like rationalize, okay, we got to have moderation here. And I will say the sextile to Mercury can make us aware of like all the things we want to do this weekend because Mercury is our schedule. It's that busy energy. So that can be where moderation comes into like, but wait, we want to go hang out with friends on Saturday, or we want to see our family. So like, let's not go too hard Friday night or, wake up on Sunday feeling like, even you might wake up feeling this energy and being like kind of reactive or impulsive. And you don't want to overwhelm yourself when the moon opposes Mars. Mercury's here to be like, hello, our brain is telling us what we need to do to be a little bit more rational and balanced with Mercury in Libra. And the only other connection the moon makes on Saturday is a square to the sun. This is 11 a.m. Pacific time. This first quarter moon, that's what marks the first quarter moon, the moon squaring the sun. And this can bring up a little bit of anxious energy. The sun in Virgo wants us to be productive, to be efficient, to kind of be perfect, right? And the sun ruling our consciousness, we're like very aware of the details, whereas the moon in Sagittarius just wants us to be free and have fun this weekend, right? So you can see how these two energies square each other and create some tension. It can make us feel a little restless, impatient, like we want to see immediate results now. We can't fully just trust and go with the optimistic flow of things when the moon squares the sun. We're kind of overthinking all the possibilities or outcomes thanks to that Virgo energy. So release tension through movement, and remember that fun can be a release. Even in Virgo season, there doesn't have to be a purpose for everything. Fun is going to be really nurturing this weekend under the Sagittarius moon. So if you're feeling any anxiety or agitation on Saturday, whether it's from the moon opposing Mars or squaring the sun, literally you can move that stagnant energy out of your body. And remember that fun is a release, and you don't have to take life so seriously. Just make sure you're not burning yourself out with too much fun going overboard, right? It's a nice balance that we're playing here. So that's our Saturday. Let's move into Sunday, a major planetary shift. Venus enters Virgo on Sunday night. I believe it's at about 9, let me tell you here, 9 p.m. Venus will enter Virgo. So Venus will be at the anaretic degree on Sunday, playing into this needy energy that we have been talking about a little bit during this forecast. Venus at the anaretic degree makes us feel like we need love. We are like a little bit restless in love and in relationships and with money. I would say Venus at the anaretic degree of Leo could make us more like bold, like we just want to take bold action. We want to spend the money. We want to tell people we love them right now, so moderation under the Sagittarius moon and Venus at the anaretic degree. Something to keep in mind this Sunday, because we don't feel the effects of Venus in Virgo really until probably the week begins. But let's do a little refresher on what this energy brings. Venus, the planet of love, money, and beauty, entering the sign of the Virgin. So, of course, we got to bring up the song Like a Virgin by Madonna, right? We're attracted to cleanliness. Venus rules what we're attracted to. Virgo is associated with purity, cleanliness, minimalism, even the aesthetic. You'll notice during Venus and Virgo, people leaning towards like minimalist white looks, or we also can have heightened expectations with Venus and Virgo, being a little bit more critical in relationships, just really raising our standards in relationships, not just romantically, but friendships, partnerships, parent-children relationships. So it's like when we're attracted to someone or looking at potential matches or connections, we're like, but will they meet our standards with Venus and Virgo? So we want to make sure we're not being too critical over the next few weeks with Venus and Virgo. Remember, nobody is perfect, but we're attracted to people who are clean cut and who look a little bit more perfect with Venus and Virgo. This is also an opportune time to tackle accounting or financial matters, because Venus rules our money and Virgo is all about the fine print and the details. So if you've been needing to do some accounting, take advantage of Venus and Virgo. Go over your bank statements, and this could be a really good time. Also to clean things out with Venus and Virgo. Venus rules the aesthetic, our surroundings, beauty. So purging, cleaning out your surroundings will feel really good with Venus and Virgo. We're not just attracted to that nice, clean aesthetic. We got to make that aesthetic for ourselves by decluttering. So that can be a really beautiful way to use this energy. And one more thing I want to say about Venus in a financial aspect is Virgo could be very frugal. So you might find yourself wanting to like thrift or buy off Facebook Marketplace, join your local buy nothing group, like shop with thriftiness in mind, or in a little bit more of a frugal manner, which is, I think, super fun. I love thrifting as a Virgo, but you might be feeling called to like sustainable spending and sustainable acquiring of beautiful things. So maybe even thrifting or vintage shopping, something like that with Venus and Virgo. So we'll play into this a little bit more when we're back live on Monday, but just to give you an idea of the energy Venus and Virgo is bringing us, the moon remains in Sagittarius for most of the day on Sunday. We wake up under that Sagittarius moon carrying the positive vibes from the days before, definitely. At 3 a.m. Saturday night into Sunday, the moon forms a sextile to Saturn. So we might wake up feeling grounded, kind of feeling more practical and mature, which is interesting under a Sagittarius moon, but it feels like Saturn in Aquarius does help us kind of taper our expectations a little bit, limit ourselves a little bit, give ourselves some boundaries under this like free flowing Sag moon, and we can start the day nice and slow and steady with the moon connecting with Saturn. By 9 a.m., the moon squares Neptune. So we kind of start our Sunday in a little bit of like a slow fog. The moon squaring Neptune brings confusion. It can bring like just fogginess or even sensitivity when the moon squares Neptune. So it's like, be here now, just live in the fog a little bit on Sunday morning, take it easy, take it slow, because trying to find clarity will likely only cause frustration. Give yourself full permission to just be in the moment, and the Sagittarius moon can help you do that. Like, just be here now, be optimistic on what's outside of the fog, even though you can't see it at the moment. Feel into your senses, lean into what feels good. It'll be easy to do that with Venus at the anaretic degree of Leo, and just be in that fogginess of Sunday morning. It's like that Sunday morning slowness, you know, and the moon squaring Neptune really forces us to be there and to just kind of sit in that sleepiness for a little bit longer. The final connection the Sagittarius moon makes is a beautiful one at the anaretic degree. So definitely a neediness coming through, but the moon harmonizes with Venus at 6 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday evening. So the moon in fiery Sagittarius harmonizing with Venus in fiery Leo, both of them at the anaretic degree. This feels like, I love you, you know, like screaming it from the rooftops. It feels like Tom Cruise jumping on Oprah's couch and expressing his love about Katie Holmes, right? That's who he was obsessed with. That's what this energy feels like. Love comes through very easily when the moon harmonizes with Venus, and comes through very strongly and boldly with this happening in fire signs. Sharing our appreciation of others feels very easy and nurturing for both parties. You know, it's like hype your people up. Use the anaretic degree to your advantage. Now, if you're just starting a relationship, I would say this is not the day to say I love you or to like express your true feelings for someone, because you might be a little too bold and affectionate. And, you know, I'm all for being authentic, but also you don't want to scare people off. I've been there. I've done that for sure. Venus and Leo over here, right? So we're going to be really bold, really lovey-dovey and affectionate, and physical love will come very naturally as well on Sunday evening. So it's a really beautiful opportunity to explore romantic attraction, sensual connection, lean into pleasure in our body, but also remember that we're a little bit more impulsive and restless because both the moon and Venus are at the anaretic degree. So maybe think things through a little bit before you act on them, if that makes sense. And then the moon moves into Capricorn at about 7 o'clock on Sunday evening. So we're going to start our week off on a grounded note. The moon doesn't love to be in Capricorn. It's a detriment here. So it kind of disconnects us from all the feels and our intuition. And we're more in our mind and logically processing all of our emotions. This is really a time, even though we're in this action phase of the moon, it's kind of helping us take slow and steady action and making sure that all the steps we're taking moving forward, heading towards the full moon next week, next Saturday, I believe, the end of the week, will support our long-term goals. So the Capricorn moon brings this energy of practicality after this fiery, bold, fun, expressive weekend. It's like, okay, we're coming back down to earth. We're getting grounded again. And we're getting our feet on the floor and being like, okay, what do we need to do moving forward? We had all the fun, maybe a little too much fun over the weekend. Is there such thing? I don't know. But the moon in Capricorn is like, okay, time to come back to our responsibilities for the week. Luckily, most of us will have Monday off for Labor Day. Hopefully you get a nice long weekend. And the Capricorn moon invites you to just kind of take it slow for Labor Day. Take it slow on Monday and kind of process everything that has come up throughout the weekend. Lots of big ideas, big conversations likely happened for you. So that is our forecast for the weekend. Let's return to our affirmation. And I wrote an affirmation for the entire weekend. Might be a little selfish since I am in Las Vegas, but I'm abundant. I am abundant under the Sagittarius moon with Mercury opposing Jupiter, with Mercury and Mars forming this fortunate connection. We have so much positive energy, abundance, expression, optimism. Lean into that abundance, harness it, take full advantage of it, and know that the more you lean into abundance, the more abundance will meet you right there halfway and come into your life more easily. So we're abundant this weekend. We're fun, we're playful, we're adventurous, and being in that fun energy brings more abundance to us. Okay, let's finish up with our tarot pull for the weekend. We're going to do a quick tarot pull for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to see what other messages need to come through. So here we go. Quick shuffle here. Woo! Okay, everybody joining me, let's take a deep breath in and ask, what do we need to know? The 9 of Pentacles, our first card. Woo! The 10 of Cups, our second card. Ooh! This card does not want to come off the ground. Oh my goodness. And our Sunday card, the Knight of Wands. Okay. He was sticking to the ground there. I always give the disclaimer, I am not a tarot expert. I just read the guidebook. So here's what the guidebook has to say about our Friday card. The 9 of Pentacles. One of the last cards in the guidebook. You created abundance. We just talked about abundance. Now enjoy the fruits of your labors on Friday. Don't be afraid to splurge on something special for yourself. Use your wealth to create financial independence in the long term. Yes, love the 9 of Pentacles. Abundance all around, starting our weekend off on an abundant note. We will take it. Just so in line with everything we've just talked about. Our Saturday card is the 10 of Cups. All of these came through in the upright position too, which generally has a positive connotation. The 10 of Cups says you've created a life of connection and bliss by following your heart and trusting your intuition. There's a sense of wholeness, completion, and alignment in your relationships with others. We talked a lot about Mercury and Libra bouncing ideas off of other people, Mars harmonizing with Mercury, helping us to relate to others and figure out what actions we want to take moving forward by getting other people's perspectives. So lean into that connection that you have created for yourself and follow your heart, trust your intuition under this abundant Sagittarius energy this weekend. And finally, our Sunday card is the Knight of Wands. Let me see. Where are you, Knight of Wands? Also upright. This was the guy that was sticking to the floor. It says you are charged up with energy, passion, motivation, and enthusiasm. Can we say Venus and Leo at the anaretic degree? You're channeling that energy through your inspired action. Fueled by ambition and confidence, you are here to make things happen. What a great positive tarot pull we got for this weekend. This is going to be such a fun weekend. So much connection, so much abundance, so much confidence, so much passion and motivation. I hope that you got a taste of it to carry with you through the weekend here joining me on Transits today. I love you all. I hope you have such a beautiful weekend. And I'm so excited to see you all back here live on Monday. I'm going to be doing a special little Labor Day edition of Transits today. So I'm excited to connect with you all again. Wish me lots of luck and abundance in Las Vegas. Tonight, I will be, Friday night, when you're seeing this, I will be hopefully on stage with Shania Twain. We're manifesting it, my friends. We're manifesting it. Thank you for showing up here, even when I couldn't be with you live. I hope this video was helpful getting you into the energy of the weekend, and I will see you all right back here on Monday morning. But until I see you next, stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website.
But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.